So in this video I'm going to show you how to create the joints for the spine of the head. As we've already covered making a foot system and a arm system, this really should also be the last part, and obviously the hands will be left for you to do. And we haven't specifically covered this in lessons, as you know, you're not necessarily required to do this for the project. It's for those of you that are obviously aiming for the higher criteria. So with my character now completed, I've smoothed over to increase obviously the amount of polys that were there. I'm still not 100% happy with the neck, and I still feel the head should probably be a bit lower than what it is, but I kind of liked the fact that it was a bit off and makes it a little bit creepy. And obviously I've added my antlers in, and so yeah, before we start, what I want you to do is obviously select your object, and I want you to go to modify, edit, delete by type, and delete your history. That should clear your object up. Make sure you've renamed your character mesh, so character mesh. And for this stage I'm going to go into wireframe mode. Okay, and what we're going to be focusing on obviously is the spine. Okay, so what I'm going to do is change my menu to rigging, and going to go to skeleton, and I'm going to go to create joints. Now all of your characters should follow from the hips, because that's the start of most movement, and you'll sort of cover that when you start animating. So from around this sort of area here we're going to start, and we are just going to add in, just click on do that. We want this to be central, so let's just turn on the snap. And we're going to just drive, we're going to have about 3 bones going up. So one's for that belly button, so there, and one to here, and we'll have one going up to the neck, and one to the, so if we just go to side view, actually we'll just check from the side, and obviously we want one going to the top of the neck, one for the head, and we'll have one at the end there. And we'll turn snap off, and we've been pushing insert, or if you're on the Mac, push the up arrow. I'm just going to move these joints around, so I'm happy, just so I'm happy with them. Yep, so I think that's okay. Probably actually going to take this one up just a little bit more. I'll just keep that right there. And I'm going to open this window here so we can look at the outliner. And obviously we want to rename our joints. So we're going to have hip joint, spine, sorry, put spine at the beginning of that, so our spine hip joint. And we'll change this one, spine joint 1, spine joint 2, spine joint 3. This is where we're going to have our sort of our shoulders coming out from. So if you're going to draw, if at this point you're going to draw your shoulders on, you go from here and you draw out and down the chain. And we have neck, spine, neck, spine head, and finally spine dummy. So from there, it's going to check the neck. I think that's okay. Might need to be a little bit lower, so I can bring it down slightly. So around there, and yeah. Okay, so the next stage is to start adding in our controls. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off polygons so I can see these, and I'm going to create a curve, a circle from the curve menu set, and I'm going to change the radius from the inputs to, I think, 3, and if I just bring that up, we'll just check the size. So we'll just bring that up, so polygons on, yeah, that's cool. So I'm going to push F to focus. Now I want to snap these into the middle of the joint, so I'm going to hold V, I'm going to pull that up, and I'm going to rename this spine control 1, and I'm going to control D to duplicate. I'm going to hold V, go up, and you'll see that it's automatically rename that to number 2. Okay, and I'll do that again. Oh, so control D or command D, and I'm going to hold V and pull that up. And oh, wrong bit, I didn't want to do that. So that's from the previous copy where I've just undo that, sorry. So I want to push control D, hold V, bring that down. Let's just check which one this is. It should be the joint 3, yep. And then we have our neck and head, so I want to control D again, I'm going to hold V, I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to change this one to neck. Control, and I'm going to control D again, hold V, and I'm going to change this one to head. So because this is a chain reaction and we want the chain reaction to follow all the way down the body, these controls need to follow this top one. Okay, so I'm going to middle mouse button click and drag these into each other. If not, you can select the child and the parent and push P. And so what will happen now is as I turn these controls, they will all follow each other, which is what we want. Okay, so the next stage is to get their orientations constrained to the hips. So for this one, what I'm going to do is select the control, select the joint, and push, go to constrain and orient, and just go through each one of these one by one. And eventually we will have that connected up. Oh, I think I've done the last one in the wrong way around. There we go, yeah, I did. So slip that first in the joint. So obviously now what will happen is as I move these, that will move with it. Excellent. That's exactly what we want. Cool. So the next stage is obviously if I move these up and down, we're going to lose that point. The first I'm going to do is select all of these, and I'm going to go to modify and freeze transformations, so they're all at 0. And we're going to create a master control which we're going to use to control the global sort of location of the character. So I'm going to create another sphere. This time I'm going to make this bigger than the previous ones. I'm going to take this to about 5, so it's really clear that this is the one. I'm going to push V and move it up. And for this control, I'm just going to call this master control, and what we're going to do is drag both of these into the master control. And once we're in here, we can see now we can move the bones and keep that going globally. Okay, so I'm going to unhide my polygons, and the next step for me now is to add the arms and fingers, add the leg system, and create those rigs. Okay, so I will let you continue with that. I may make some more videos, so subscribe to me on YouTube and you'll sort of see them as they get updated. If any of you have any specific requests, please do drop me a comment or email, and I'll see what I can do. Okay, so good luck and take care. Bye.